whole bang shoot of them, back where they came from. Monarchy is just fascism with knobs on, right? Right, Goldring said. Very far right. And everybody laughed. Eve Anders, who had thought her own views were quite advanced, was stimulated by the easy way they threw comments at one another, and wondered whether she happened to be travelling with an unusually leftist-thinking group. They were all in agreement that class consciousness was the bugbear of Britain, and that inherited privilege sprang from the top, and the top was the king. She felt quite ashamed that she'd seen the Silver Jubilee procession and had danced at a coronation celebration party, but the shame soon dissolved into a kind of euphoria when, as they were speeding through France, she was occasionally drawn into the conversation. In what seemed like a very short time, they were drawing into the Gare du Nord. After brief farewells and wishing Eve good luck, the medical unit hurried off to catch another train to Barcelona. Chapter 1. Eve's contact was waiting for her. "You are a driver?" Eve nodded. "That's good news. You're an absolute godsend." She shook hands firmly but briefly. "I'm from Aid to Spain, of course, a friend of Charlotte Haldane. Charlotte is our inspiration." Her distinct, cultured accent was the kind Eve longed for. "I was beginning to think I should have to drive to Albacete myself, but I've hardly driven anything heavier than a shooting brake." Eve, a practised chameleon and mimic, slipped easily into the other woman's speech patterns as they left the concourse. "I have an absolute passion for driving heavy vehicles," she declared. Absolute passion was an exaggeration, but she had learned to drive on heavy gears. She owned a light goods license and was hoping that ambulances, which she expected to be driving, would be so classified. She was confident of her own ability. "Is it right or left-hand drive?" "One of ours. Looks as though it might have been a Harvey Nichols delivery vehicle in a past life. All fitted out with seats now, used for ferrying men to the battle zones." "What is it doing here in Paris?" "The driver dropped out. Fatigue. So many volunteers try to do too much. He carried up a bunch of people going home for a spell of rest and recuperation and was forced to join them. I suggest you put up here for tonight and set out in the morning. We have a place for you to stay." "Fine," Eve said. "Fine." It was what she had hoped for. Time to go over the maps once more and to memorize another list of useful Spanish words. Then to start off first thing before too much traffic was about, so that she could get used to driving on the right-hand side of the road. As she walked through the streets with her guide, Eve gave only half of her mind to the inconsequential conversation. "Do you know Paris?" "Hardly at all. I did stay in a hotel quite close to the Ile de la Cité on one occasion. I still have a lovely dinner gown I took home from La Chelle." The couture gown of fine concertina silk was squashed into her sponge bag because she hadn't been able to leave it behind. "Wonderful, beautiful things at La Chelle. Awfully expensive." Eve briefly considered not showing off. Then she thought, what the hell, why shouldn't I? It was the clichés that were the most exciting. There really were pavement cafes with parasols and flower sellers, and an old man wearing a black beret. Again she reminded herself, "I've got away. I'm free. Travelling light." She carried a few suitable clothes and shoes in a good leather bag, as well as a canvas tote containing a camera, some maps, pencils, notebooks, rolls of film, money, and cheques. Despite having volunteered to be a driver, she felt that she still had many choices. I can please myself. I don't actually have to go to Spain. Nobody can make me. Briefly, she wondered how her brother had coped with his own sudden freedom. Her guide said something that Eve didn't catch and laughed, showing teeth that were fine and well cared for. If there is one thing, Eve thought, more than any other, that sets the English lower and upper classes apart, it is our teeth. Not that Eve's teeth were any less fine. The vehicle, with its bull nose and oval windows in the back doors, did look like a shop delivery van. It was in the care of Francis and Francis Odell, a married couple known as Frankie and Fran, who were putting her up for the night.